All right. This is 16.1 notes, Hitler's Lightning War. So, otherwise called the Blitzkrieg. That's the German for lightning war. Okay, so it's going to cover what the Blitzkrieg was, France and Britain versus Hitler, the Battle of Britain, how the United States aids the Allies, and also the Atlantic Charter. Okay, so the first section, Blitzkrieg. In 1938 to 1939, Hitler invaded Austria and Czechoslovakia. Okay, Austria was annexed, if you remember from last week. Czechoslovakia also was peacefully taken over. But Hitler decides that he wants to create more German land and territory for his people, Lebensraum. And so he invades Poland in the summer of 1939. Russia also invades, or USSR also invades as well, and they divide Poland in half. Okay, and they're able to do that through what they call non-aggression pact. So Hitler and Stalin got together and they said, hey, we're going to attack different areas. We're not going to attack each other, though. All right, so here's a political cartoon about it. All right, so the irony of this is these guys hated each other. And on top of that, their political ideologies, Nazism, fascism, and communism are opposites in many ways, shapes, and forms. So this marriage is not going to last. Okay, here's a tank. So Hitler invades Poland with this new military strategy, the Blitzkrieg. It stands for lightning war. So it's very quick. They use tanks to invade and disrupt enemy supply lines and enemy lines, and they just very quickly take over. All right, just said that. Okay, so France and Britain versus Hitler. So after Poland was invaded, that's when France and Britain finally declare war. They do so on September 3rd, 1939, but they don't actually do anything, right? Which brings it to the next point, which it's called a phony war. So the first 7 months of this quote-unquote war, there was no actual fighting. Now the French feel safe from invasion because they're behind this Maginot Line. All right, this is a heavily fortified territory that they think, well, Germany's not going to be able to go through this. All right, you see what they do is they simply just go around it. They go through Belgium, and then they go through right here around the Maginot Line, and it's almost like it's not even there. So here's an example of the Maginot Line. You can see tanks here. This is, I don't know if this is German troops or French troops, but you see these concrete barriers would stop soldiers, hopefully, and also, more importantly, stop tanks. Okay, and this is a big concrete bunker. So this Maginot Line was lined with these things, right? Relatively impregnable. Okay, and here's the German invasion through Belgium and the Netherlands. So in May of 1940, again, 7 months after the war began, Hitler invades Netherlands and Belgium on his way to invading France. Okay, the Belgians and Dutch, actually, they had a good-sized army, but the strategy with the Blitzkrieg was so effective that they fell within a matter of weeks or days. Okay, they couldn't push Hitler back. The Allies, so there were British soldiers that went to try to help in Belgium and in France as well. They have to retreat to an area called Dunkirk. And here's where it's located, right along the coast. Okay, so you see Antwerp up here. This is Belgium, I believe. Okay, so the British forces, they get surrounded because of the tanks. They cut off the retreat. So they have to continually retreat, and they are trapped in Dunkirk. Now, if this force would to have been captured, that would have been over 300 to 400,000 British troops that would have been lost, captured, or killed. They are saved through an effort of the British people to rescue them. So they got not just military vessels, but they got fishing boats and passenger liners and cruise ships to evacuate these soldiers in a matter of under a week, I believe. Okay, once they are gone, the German soldiers turn all their efforts back on France, and France falls within a matter of a couple weeks. Okay, so by June of 1940, so